So this is my first time on an actual train in Portugal. Let's see how it goes. So, only 5 minutes on the train, I realized two quick truths. First, I don't know if you guys can see behind me, I'm going backwards. I have real bad motion sickness, so going backwards is a little bit difficult. So, you have to be cognizant on which direction the train is going, because you either will be moving forward or you will be moving backwards. First thing noted. Second thing is that depending on the direction you're going, you also need to consider the view. Here I am leaving from Porto, going to Faro, and I am actually on the, left side of the train, which is heading south. If I was on the other side, I could actually see the ocean at certain points because the train runs along the ocean and you have amazing views. I kind of outsmarted myself for a second because I thought, well, I don't want to be in the sun. So I'm going to pick this side because the sun should be on the other side of the train. And if I want to take a nap or whatever, I'm going to be too hot. So, pros and cons. I do see some folks, they are in bits of themselves are in the sun on the other side of the train. Me, I'm in the shade, but I like the view. So, first quick truths within 2 minutes of riding the train. First and foremost, how do you even obtain a ticket? You have 3 easy options. First, go to the train station of your choice and purchase your ticket with the lovely employees there. Second option is go to the Comboios de Portugal website, and it is the cp.pt website. You can go there, buy your tickets, look at train times, and knock it out easily that way. The third and most convenient option for me is to use your phone. You have the CP, the Comboios de Portugal app, and you can purchase your ticket right on your phone, and then you'll have your train ticket right on your phone. It's an easy QR code. Simple, and that's how I did it. So I'm back again after about another minute. And another thing that I just found out is that if you place a discount into your reservation. So for example, I'm an ACP member, which is Automobile Club of Portugal, and they have a discount for the train tickets. So I said, hey, I have the ACP card, and they gave me a few euros off. The employee just actually walked by and asked for the copy of my ACP card. Luckily, I keep a copy of my phone for this very reason, and but I was shocked that he actually asked for it. So you guys, if you are touting that you have a discount, be sure that you can verify it. So here in the seat, there are little cool functions that are really nice to have on the train. First, let me turn this around. So here is the seat, the back of the seat in front of me. You do have outlet down here, which you can plug in your phone and charger and etc. You have some footrest here, which is really nice. And then you also have this sliding tray table that pulls out. So you have to pull it up and then extend out. Now I'll show you a brief demonstration. So there you have it. So you also have these little connection points up here. You can hang your clothing and etc. And you have these things. You can let the shades down and up, which is cool. And I have no idea where we are, but we're in between Aveiro and Lisbon. And they have a little thing up top that talks about the speed. If you could zoom in there. But it said that we're going 106 kilometers per hour. The highest speed I've seen so far, once we hit a straight part of the track, it was around 200 kilometers per hour. So it's pretty quick. So have a quick little tour. And check out the toilets. You have toilets on each side. One to the left and right. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So just like any public toilet, it's not very clean, but it's okay. Then you have a kid, you have change this up here, you have a full length mirror, and then you have your wash basin down there. So we just had a stop in Aveiro, and you have like 2 to 3 minutes to get on and off the train, bring in your bags. It does not stop long, so keep that in mind when you get on and off. I mean, this older Portuguese lady was just yelling at these Japanese tourists because they were moving too slow. So keep that in mind. To get on and off, you only have like 2 to 3 minutes, and the train keeps moving. Pronto. So this is Tunes. I just had my connection. Just got off of this train here from all the way from Porto, and I have to wait because the changeover, the train that I have to catch to Lagos is delayed. So we'll see. So this is the train station at Tunes. Kind of feel like it's in the middle of nowhere. But if you keep going down this way, you would head down to Faro, which I think is the next stop. But I have to go west to Lagos, so we'll see. Another thing that I did notice about riding the train was that basically the cart, because there's like several carts, 1 through 6, and then the cart itself is split in half, and some of the seats are facing one way, and some of the seats are facing the other way. So you have to be mindful which direction you're going so that you can face the right direction. Because when I got on the train, the seat that I selected solely because I didn't want to be in the sun, but it actually had me facing backwards. So I should have selected the other side of the cart on the same side. Well, sorry, the other half of the cart on the same side. And I'll put a little diagram here and that would have prevented me from riding backwards and feeling nauseous. But lesson learned, it's first time riding a train, so it is what it is. So here we made it to Lagos, and here's the train. We finally made it. It was a long, arduous journey. It took roughly 8 hours in total from Porto to Lagos. It would have took a little under 7 hours, but my train in Tunis was late by an hour, so that was a bit stressful. But we finally made it, and I'm just happy to be home. And once I get to the crib, I have a little debrief on my first experience taking a train in Portugal. All right, guys. So I just made it back home, finally. So what are my thoughts on taking a train to get around Portugal? Honestly, it's not bad. Not bad at all. The trains were very clean. The toilets were pretty clean. The seating was nice, comfortable. I would say the only thing I couldn't do was have the seat recline, which was a little bit of a bummer. But hey, I was on a train for 8 hours and my bum is still fine. I don't have achy back or achy neck, whatever. So it's definitely adequate. The train that from the main line that I took from Porto all the way down to Tunis, and I had to switch trains, that train was pretty fast. It was going about 200 kilometers per hour on average. So I got down to the Algarve pretty quickly. I want to say about 5 hours. I did have a delay. The regional train that runs from east and west in the Algarve, it was actually delayed for about almost an hour, which I was okay. I mean, because the train coming from Porto was a little bit delayed too. So it was fine. It was fine. But those trains, those regional trains here in the Algarve, they're not as nice, to be honest. They get you from point A to point B, and honestly, that's all you can ask for. I would do have some recommending tips. First and foremost, if you on the main line, like going to the bigger cities like Lisboa and Porto, book your tickets early so that you can select the comfort seats. It's a little bit more if you want to. I think for my total trip from Porto all the way down to Lagos was about 59 euros. If I would have taken the comfort seat, it would have been 79 euros. You can't beat it. Can't beat it at all. And the scenery in Portugal is beautiful. So make sure you plan ahead and try to get those window seats. Have an amazing trip coming down. And then also pay attention to which direction you're going. So if you're going north to south, make sure you sit on the right side, or I would say the right half of the cart. Because if you are a little bit of seasick, like I am, I screwed up and I was going backwards. Riding backwards the entire ride down from Porto to the Algarve. It wasn't a good feeling. I had to sleep because that was the only way to kind of stop some of the nausea from coming on. So, just keep that in mind. Definitely keep that in mind. The other thing is, if you're taking these regional trains, they're consistently not on time. I've had several family members that have taken a train from Lisboa. They got to the regional train down here in the Algarve, and their train was 40 minutes late, 50 minutes late, whatever. So plan ahead. That's all I'm saying. But you cannot beat it. For 54 euros, somewhere around there, because I had a little bit of discount, it was a little bit cheaper. But you can't beat that. I went all the way from Porto to Lagos, which is the very last stop going west in the Algarve train line. You can't go any further via train. So it is spectacular. And the views, especially going through Alentejo, was spectacular. You live and you learn. Now that I know how things kind of operate, I'll plan accordingly, make sure I get some primo seats looking in the right direction, because sometimes you go through these beach towns, especially right when we left Porto. There was a beach town, I can't remember the name of it, but I could see the water, the ocean, right out of the window. And wow, it was spectacular. So I can't recommend this enough. Portugal, you did a great job. I wish the trains were a little faster, but hey, for the price, I can't complain. I can't complain at all. And especially coming from the States and Florida, our public transportation system is crap. Basically non-existent. You have the bus and the Amtrak, which always seems to be derailing. It's probably from the 1950s technology. It's that crappy. But anyway, thank you guys. Like I said, consider taking the train if you don't want to fly, because that was one of the main reasons why I decided to take the train. My return flight alone from Porto to Faro, Ryanair wanted to charge me 260 euros for one way. Going up, it was 80 euros. So, it kind of forced my hand to take the train for the first time, and I'm happy I did. All right, guys. I see you guys in the next one. And if you have any questions about any of this stuff, travel tips and etc., let me know. All right. Peace.